TNTM the show presents
Comicast 286
with your hosts Pablo Gunner
and JD,
and we are here to talk nerdy to you.
because we are talk nerdy to me.
That is correct. About this week's comics. That's what we're reviewing this time around.
Week of the 17th of May.
Yes, May 17th comics. And we have our own grade scale.
Buy, skim, pass, with variations on buy and skim. You know, strong buy, weak buy, strong skim, weak skim, and of course, pass for pass. You know, use it as kitty litter or whatnot. Yeah.
Yes, our best book of the week we call
The B-Bow, or the back and bag of the week.
Correct. And that's when we're going to drop the most spoilers, but there will be spoilers throughout because we are reviewing these books.
Yeah.
So be warned. And we also have the runner-up to the back and bag.
And contenders for people that are eligible for the back and bag.
Yes.
Or comics that are eligible.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and I completely spaced out here.
Yeah.
We do a ringtone. Like if it's one of us reviewing it, then it's 1 minute. And if it's two of us,
It's 2 minutes.
it's 2 minutes. And so this is what we got this week.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here. Huge success.
If you know what it is, tell me. I'll hook you up with a free digital comic.
Yeah.
You know? So there you go.
We got some news, some talk nerdy news, I guess.
Some nudes.
Yeah, some nudes. Yeah, it's the fappening all over again, right? But no, news.
News.
Yeah, news.
With a Z.
So basically, we need to say we know about Tom Hardy playing Venom now. So Tom Hardy is going to be playing the lead character of Eddie Brock in Sony's Venom movie, which is slated for like a 2019 release. So
I saw. Oh, they're going to film in 2018.
yeah, they're going to film in 2018 and release.
Usually
in
they have
2019.
like 2-year rotation for that stuff, don't they?
Well, here's the thing: how are they going to do this without already having a black suit Spider-Man? Unless they're pulling information from the Infinity War, maybe.
I don't know maybe they're going to establish it in Homecoming.
Maybe an end credit scene. I think it's really going to be an Infinity War thing, though.
It would make more sense that way to do like, oh, but Spider-Man's not supposed to be, but I heard he might make appearance in Sony. But here, which I already said this. I already said my 2 cents on the Facebook, which is it's a brilliant idea because Marvel's never going to do an R-rated movie.
No.
So, but it makes sense to do Venom R-rated because it's
A
Venom.
lethal protector.
Right. And so, but I don't think they're going to get it right because you're not using Spider-Man.
No.
So it's like,
There's going to
okay,
be setup.
go ahead and let Sony do Venom on their own and go,
screw up
okay,
horribly.
yeah, we're going to watch you crap the bed, and then you're going to want to give us Spider-Man 100%, and then we're going to do Venom eventually without needing it to be rated R, because that's what they'll do. It'll be like PG-13, which I think is doable.
Yeah, it
I don't
is.
think it really needs to, I don't remember watching the animated and going, this needs to be
R.
rated R. Like, Carnage, maybe, just because
Yes.
he's a psycho and
Yes,
he's a murderer.
Carnage, definitely.
But even then, they made that work in the animated series. So I'm like,
Well,
even then, you can just do on-screen, like off-screen deaths and murder scenes, and then splash effects or whatever from blood, like whatever. But yeah, I think makes sense. It's funny too that we're getting in this area where everybody has played a superhero, so they're playing another
superhero,
another character from a different universe.
So what's a DC person that could play a Spider-Man villain or whatnot? I mean, I don't think Christian Bale would be one. I mean, we got Keaton now.
Yeah.
Who's next? Kilmer, Clooney, Chris O'Donnell. Chris O'Donnell is Carnage.
No, well, you never know. He might, could be.
You shoot him in the head a couple of times, he'll be psychotic enough.
So,
okay, next up on the news, we have Alien Covenant that was released this weekend. The reviews are really good. I mean, personally, you can really see the movie's plot twist coming from a mile away. If you watch the prologue, which covers the adventures of David and Shaw, I mean, that kind of spoils a little bit of the movie. All in all, I thought it was pretty decent. I've seen it a poor quality copy of it, but I've seen it because I hadn't had time to go down to the theater yet. But yeah, but it's been released. Reviews are pretty good.
Sure.
Let's
Excuses are like buttholes.
Yeah,
and
everybody's got one.
everybody likes to lick them. Right?
I don't know if that's the way the saying goes, my friend. Well, in 2 weeks, we have Wonder Woman coming out. So far, the early reviews for Wonder Woman have been fantastic. People are saying that it is the redemption of the DC Expanded Universe. And I got my wife and I got Mr. Pablito over here his early birthday gift, which would be some Wonder Woman merchandise.
Which is a Wonder Woman headband I need for my Wonder
Man cosplay.
Well, no, it's going to be Western Wonder is what it is.
Oh, it's
I'm going to do
Wonder?
Western Wonder.
Okay.
That's what I want to wear for the opening. I mean, I probably won't be able to go just because.
Yeah. Well, the openings have been kind of poor out in our area.
They have been. I think maybe because it's all at the brew house, but I'm not
it's either
sure.
at the brew house or maybe at Windrock. I mean,
that probably hurt people's ears.
Yeah. Well, Wonder Woman stuff. Yeah.
It fits my little lady hands.
It goes on your muscles right there, buddy.
Oh, does it?
Oh yeah.
It goes on the arm?
It goes on the arm. It's not the gauntlets.
It's not the wristband?
Braces.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the wristband.
Because the wristbands, they actually make sound.
I have a wristband. I have the wristbands anyways.
Okay, cool.
I don't need
And then you got your tiara that you're going to be able to put on.
Yeah.
Speaking of cinema and stuff, on the silver screen this past week, we had the finale for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was really good in my opinion.
Oh, I need to get caught up.
Dude, you're missing out. I will not spoil it because you have not seen it, and it had a lot of ties to the Marvel Cinematic Universe without really tying to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You'll see it and you'll know what I'm talking about. Arrow, Supergirl, and Flash all have their season finales this week. So starting Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, respectively, for each of the shows. It goes well with the Captain America shirt.
It really does.
But Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we'll have the season finales for all three of those shows. Marvel Heroes Omega is going to be released for PS4 for free to play on Tuesday, the 23rd. If you are on Xbox, it will open up on the 20th of June. So it's a month behind. Yeah, it's just what it is. So it's free to play for both systems. So check it out. It's a good game for the PC. It's free for the consoles. I mean, you can't get any better than that. Free. I mean,
free, yeah.
Free. And of course, I personally like to address Chris Cornell's passing. Chris Cornell is a great artist. I was a teenager in the 90s, so I was very heavily influenced by his music in the 90s in Soundgarden.
I feel like I'm a bigger fan of his music and Oz Audio Slave.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people
like. But they're both really good.
His solo work's actually really good. The Scream album was amazing to me, although most people hate it because Timberland produced it and it was really hip-hop influenced. But I still love it. It was great. So we're just honoring Chris Cornell. I mean, at Rock on the Range last night, Soundgarden was supposed to headline the show last night, so they had about an hour-long tribute for Chris Cornell the entire time. So I haven't had a chance to check out the video from that because I had some friends of mine there. So I'll end up checking it out and maybe posting a review of it, if not even just posting the entire video. So, yeah.
Cool. And we have a new setup too. We got a webcam, new webcam, and a mic hooked up by Mason usually. Yep. So
thanks, Mason.
And we're going to be doing some music stuff. We're going to be doing some like quick music reviews for videos and stuff like that. Him and some of his buddies and stuff like that. And then some of his buddies want to do some written ones as well. Okay. Some written reviews for music. So, and we're just going to do more stuff, movies, all kinds of stuff.
Mason, if you're seeing this, give me a holler. I'm a music guy. I'm a musician. I know my stuff about music. Come on. I'd like to join in on this. I know my stuff.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yes, let's get into the comics for the week of the 17th.
Let's do it.
All righty. So, set up your timer. We first have, Luke Cage numero uno.
Yes. Did you read it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, sweetness.
David F. Walker is the writer. Nielsen Nelson Blake II is the artist, and Marcio Minez is the color artist. I'll get my guesses.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, they don't have the.
Hey, there it is.
There it is. Yeah.
They keep flipping around the credits.
Yeah, they are.
So, but yeah, this art style is just beautiful right here. And it does use Mike Coulter as a model for this art style, if you haven't noticed that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's spot on. I love it from the get-go. He rolls into this place and he's like, you know, the thing about all these other heroes is they don't have their number. People in the neighborhood, they'll call me personally to help them with something. Like, that's true street level, you know, like you go like, oh yeah, Spider-Man street level. No.
Nah, let me call up Luke Cage and his he'll come out here and help us out.
Right, exactly. And so there's something going on, like someone hasn't paid up, and so they've taken somebody hostage, and he goes and he deals with it. Then he finds out that the guy that created him, not created him, but you know, kind of
experimented or, you know, assisted or medically or whatnot.
Right. And so he finds out he's dead. He goes to his funeral.
He goes to New Orleans.
And there's other people too that, like, you know, he's done experiments on and stuff like that. And then like he gets attacked. Him and this lady, they get attacked, and he's cocky and he's not used to having a formidable foe. And so he doesn't see it coming, and they mess him up.
Oh yeah,
and
he uses this like light whip, like Whiplash did in Iron Man 2. I mean, or like if you were a Star Wars fan and there was a Lumaya in Star Wars, used like a lightsaber whip. I guess that's what it's similar to, because
it is like a broken,
like
metal sword sort of, but like chain linked. I don't know what the name of that is, but anyways, it's pretty awesome. And then
it ends up hurting Luke Cage, and he is bleeding out. And he's kind of dying there.
It's freaking awesome. I feel like this is something that was missing from the show, was like a
formidable threat,
a physical threat. Yeah, I mean,
except for the bullets. I mean,
yeah, except for the bullets. But I mean, that was like a limited thing, and they just, you know, and then once that was done with, you know what I mean? Like then there was not much, except for the finale. There was that dude, which I liked it. Yeah. With the suit. But anyways, this is different. Yeah. This is quite different, and I like this, and I want to see more of this, and I'm looking forward to seeing more. I'm sold already. I already say that it's an ad, and I think it's a strong buy, and it's absolutely a contender.
I'll agree.
It's a great intro, I think, to the character.
Great intro to the series.
Absolutely.
Good storyline.
It looks superb. Like everything feels really spot on.
It's really intriguing. I'm very impressed by it for a number one, because Marvel's kind of hit and miss when it comes down to number ones, and this is definitely a hit. I mean, this is definitely where it needs to be.
It's a hit. It's a hit. All right. So, yeah.
Strong buy contender for me. Strong buy contender for this guy.
That's right. And here's your digital code, because we give the digital codes away for all the comics that have digital codes. Here's this one. F for Familia, C for Carlos, M for Marcos, G for Guillermo, 2, C for Carlos, T for Tomás, R for Rigoberto, S for Sierra, W for Huerita, R for Rigoberto, I for Ignacio.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely got to print out that phonetics thing that my wife pulled up last time we did the cast.
Oh, yeah, I checked it out.
I didn't even get a time to check it out.
I looked it up. Yeah, it's pretty good. I added some stuff, too, I think. Cool.
So I'll have to print that out so we can start using it.
Yeah, for sure.
Next up, we have Super Sons number 4.
Oh.
Sunday, Bloody Sunday, written by Peter J. Tomasi, and Jorge Jimenez is the artist, and Alejandro Sanchez is the colorist, and Rob Lee is the letterer. And
So this one, I don't remember how the last one ended.
Me neither.
But it doesn't matter the way this one starts. They're captured. They're chained up.
Well, Alfred and Lois are looking for the kids. That's how it starts.
Yeah.
And they're chained up. They're kind of captured. They're with the guy, the
Amazo kid.
Yeah, the Amazo kid.
And so he has this suit, and I really didn't know what they were talking about. They're like, oh, yeah, he has this suit, this skeleton. And I was like, what are you talking about?
What's this
thing? But when they separate it, I'm like, oh, my gosh, okay. That's pretty terrifying.
And then we get
they're like, I love they're just busting each other. They're like, "Don't you have any powers?" You know, and like both of them are saying that to each other. They're just talking crap.
yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, what's the plan?" And so, boom, yeah,
Uncle-
they had a plan.
Uncle Lex comes in.
Yeah, and
Let's just call him that, Uncle Lex.
pretty much.
I mean, and he goes through and helps take care of the Amazo kids. They rescue the girl and end up having to fight their own robotic doppelgangers for a bit. And then the little girl kind of separates the robot from the brother, I guess. And yeah.
I love the paneling in this. Oh my god, it's so freaking awesome.
And then, of course, they get back to Jonathan's house or to Clark and Lois's farmhouse or whatnot. And there's Alfred and Lois you're kind of grounded.
Yeah, they're pissed.
Yeah.
They are both pissed. I love it. Yeah, it's fantastic.
A fun art style. It's a great story. It's very well written and composed. Peter Tomasi, keep this up, please. This is what's getting us through this book, and it makes it a good buy every time. And speaking of good buys, this is a great buy. This is this is definitely
definitely a strong buy
and
a contender for sure. Like I said, that it just feels so organic. Like
these characters belong
the paneling, the storytelling, the way that the dialogue everything about it just feels very organic. So
yeah, it was great. I enjoyed
strong
it.
buy and contender. Digital code.
So we have a digital code for this book. Check it out for yourselves. Let us know what you think about it. DC for Detective Comics 017 9 T as in Tomahawk 6 D as in Delta H as in Hotel S as in Sam 5 and S as in Sam. Where are you putting strong buys? Right there. Okay. All right. Next up, we have Generation X numero uno.
Number 1, writer Christina Strain, artist Amilcar Pina, colorist Felipe Sobiero. Yeah.
And this is different from the Gen X that I'm used to. I mean, some of the same characters, yes.
Some of them, yes.
But this is different.
You have Jono here with like Chamber, aka Chamber.
Yep, Chamber.
But yeah, it's the art style is very goofy and odd, which I feel fits Gen X. I don't know why. I just feel like Gen X, this style fits because it is odd. Her kids like disappeared. She's talking about like, oh yeah, I thought I'd have my crap together when as an adult.
No,
that doesn't seem to be the case.
Jubilation is always just a scatterbrain.
Then they get back to the school. There's this new guy that's coming, has arrived, and then one of the Stepford Cuckoo sisters
kind of bumps into him, and
he
can really touch things and just kind of see things as touching. I'm not sure what that's called anymore. I used to know what it was called.
Yeah, they say it here.
Yeah.
And then they have a morph too. This guy,
psychometry.
And then there's morphs. Then someone gets thrown through a
brick wall,
and it's Quentin Quire
then Kid Omega.
Yes, Kid Omega is the one that does it, and he's like, "You messed up my shoes. They're expensive, and they're my first time wearing them." And then Kitty Pryde's like, "You know what? You wanted to come back, not the other way around. We didn't invite you." So,
and then the new kid decides he's
like, "F this. This place is a mess." And then
they're like, "Well, you were an outcast there."
Jubilee's like, "Give us a chance."
Yeah.
And then a new
the purifiers come into play.
Okay. Yes.
I mean, come on. It's issue 1. We got to give them something to kind of, sink your teeth in. I mean, the purifiers were good.
My teeth were sunk already. I didn't
drama?
need that showing up.
So you like high school drama?
Yes, I do. I love drama. I'm all about the drama of the X-Men. I miss drama of the X-Men where it was just daily drama. I miss that.
This was a triumph.
It was a triumph.
Yeah.
So the art is weird. It's odd. I like it. It works. It fits. It's a strong buy. I feel like it's a contender as well. Great intro into this new team. Like for the most part, you even you have iBoy. Like a lot of these, they didn't
have a lot of page time
on everybody, but they enough. I feel like just its introduction. I think we'll get more in issue 2.
It's a strong buy as a contender for me as well. I have a soft spot for Gen X because, well, I mean, Jubilation is my favorite X-Men. I mean, come on. I would name my kid Jubilation if I could, if I had a daughter, you know?
It's a cool, yeah.
Just
I mean,
like
her
a color.
powers kind of suck.
Well,
I think it's more like the way she uses them.
exactly.
But
maybe that'll change now that we have a new series going on featuring her.
yeah, I've always been like, I like to see the evolution of a person's powers. You know,
like we see Phoenix and
how can
Jean
they
Grey,
push
you know?
themselves. You
We
know?
see the start
or
of
even
Jean
like
Grey.
I love when Iceman was pushing himself.
Yeah, because he went from Snowball to Ice to like Ice Wizard.
Yes, like he can create like an army of ice creatures. Yeah.
Great.
When they had Wolverine in the X-Men, I don't know if you read Wolverine in the X-Men, one of the greatest X-Men series of all time, done by Jason Aaron. And that was phenomenal because he created like a ice Voltron, you know, or something, or ice Zord. It was just amazing. Buy the omnibus. I want to. Anyways, this is a strong buy contender. Here's a digital code. F for Famicom, Z for Zarbon, M for Mankey, J for Jarbon, A for Amazing, M for Mankey, another A for Amazing, W for Wolverine, 6, M for Mankey, 0, 4.
Next up, we have Teen Titans number what? 8, 9, 8?
8.
Number 8.
Lazarus Contract number part 2.
It's written by Priest, Benjamin Percy, and Dan Abnett. The script is by Benjamin Percy. Phil Hester did the breakdowns. Coy Pham did the pencils. Wade Von Grawbadger is the inks. And Jim Charlabidis did the colors.
That was good enough. Yeah, his name's pretty nuts.
It's tongue twister. So we have Wally and Wally being missing. That's probably the best way to start out.
We see how he kind of came missing, right? Because of this guy that he helps with his car and stuff.
Yeah,
goes into his character a little bit, and then the Teen Titans are like, oh yeah, our Wally's missing too. So what's going on with him?
Let's call the Titans up
and stuff. And
so they compare notes. And while this is going on, Deathstroke's like still telling new Wally. Let's call him that. Yes. Let's call him New Wally and Ginger Wally. And he's basically telling New Wally, hey, I just want my family back. I'll leave everything else alone. I'll quit being Deathstroke. Just give me my family back, my kids. So
he's like, I'm a bad dude and I kill a lot of people. So
give me my kids.
I'll quit if you go change the timeline or whatever.
And so he takes him around to kind of see what happened with his kids somehow. I'm not sure how that.
But yeah, really. So the two teams,
the Titans and the Teen Titans,
team up, and I love how bossy Damian is, and they're like, "Can he do that?" And he's like, "He's doing it." Yeah. You know, like it's just funny. They do find Wallace, right?
Yeah, they do find Wally and Wallace, and Slade is
he finds a way to
let's just say he does a point buff. It was experience buff or
use the speed force.
Yeah, he something like that. I mean, it's hard to really go into it without spoiling it. And he becomes a formidable opponent if he wasn't already one. That's probably the best way to put it. So now we'll have to wait for what is it? Titans is next. Titans number 23 is the next one on the list.
Deathstroke, actually.
Oh, it's Deathstroke?
Deathstroke 19.
Yeah, Deathstroke 19, and then there's like a
I'm going to skip that one. I don't know.
I'm going to get it because, I mean, I've already invested 2 issues into the Lazarus contract.
I just want to see how it reads without that issue, though. Too.
Okay.
You know, I like it. It looks good. It's pretty solid, but my biggest complaint is that, like, it's crawling.
Yeah.
It is super slow. So
I love the art, though. This is beautiful, beautiful art.
Yeah, it's very consistent. You know, it's been very consistent.
Although the plot line's kind of convoluted, though.
It is a little convoluted, and especially for somebody who didn't read Judas Contract, like I kind of just want to watch the Judas Contract movie to be the cliff notes for this.
That may work. I mean, there's a big difference in the Judas Contract from the comics and the movie because in the movie, his son is only briefly mentioned and shown. In the comics, he's a prevalent figure.
Okay.
So that's the big thing behind it. Strong buy for me. It is a contender because, I mean, I like this story. I like where it's going. I don't quite like how it's written, but it's still a great read. And I want to give it more opportunity to finish up because I compare this to The Button, which was also a 4-issue arc, which we will, again, cover here in a little bit. And it's a lot like it. It's hopefully it'll continue that way of thinking.
I give it a strong buy, but it's not quite a contender for me.
So, digital code for you guys. Check it out. Let us know what you think. DC017, K as in Kilo, 1, T as in Titans, R as in Raven, 9, K as in Kilo, 7, D as in Damien. There you go.
All right, on to Nick Fury number 2. I actually didn't plan on picking this up, but I pre-ordered the first 2 issues of almost everything, just because I like to give a 2-issue stance. Yeah, and so I don't even know, man. This stuff's so confusing. I don't even care. Robinson, I don't know, whatever. James Robinson is the writer. ACO is the penciler. Hugo Petrus is the inker. Rochelle Rosenberg, colorist. So this one now, it's like Moonraker, right? Because there's this moon base, and it's going to shoot at the Earth, and it's by the Yakuza. Actually have this moon base laser, and they're like threatening so they can get money and have power and stuff. And then they're like, oh, we're going to send in Nick Jr. Nick Jr. And it's kind of cool. Like, he has these nanites that are also like explosives and stuff that do other things. But it continues the crazy like 60s trippiness. It's not as bad as last issue. It's not as confusing. So I feel like that's improved. But it's so ridiculous. I just can't get down with it. And like I said last time, this is not what I want out of a Nick Fury. I want noir, you know.
You want spy.
Yes. I want true spy stuff, not like ridiculous.
Not Austin Powers.
Not Austin Powers, not like ridiculous James Bond stuff, you know. Like, this is like a lot like Moonraker, you know. So, though this was better, it's not for me. You know, like, visually it's enticing, but it's still just not what I want. If it's what you want, that's fine. I don't care. Go for it, but it's not for me. So I'm not even gonna bother with it anymore. Like I said, I wouldn't even have gotten this issue if I pre-ordered it. So anyways,
what do you rate it?
What do I rate it? Okay, so it looks better. I'm gonna give it. I give it a skim. Skim it. See if you like it. You know what you think of it. Like I said,
and let us know what you think about it. I mean, maybe you'll shine some light on it that may make us enjoy it better. Which
no, don't. I don't care. I really don't care about your opinion. It's not going to change my mind. So whatever.
I mean,
no, I'm just saying that because I know they're not going to say anything.
Yeah. Because we're spot on this because I didn't like the first issue.
I think what it is too is that people agree with us so much that they're like, I'm not going to regurgitate what you guys said. You know, that's boring. I don't need to do that unless they have a different opinion. Which now I'm fine with differing opinions. But yeah, so and if here's a digital code for it.
Check it out. Let us know what you think.
F for Familia, C for Carlos, F for Marcos, D for Diego, H for Hector, W for Huerita, C for Carlos, 0. I think it's a C for Carlos. Anyways, 0, U for
Umberto.
Sure, without an H, right?
Yeah.
Z for Zorro, V for Villanueva, and L for Lupita.
Next up, we have a Nightwing number 21, written by Michael McMillan. Christian Duce is the artist. Chris Sotomayor is a colorist. And Carlos M. Manguel is the letterer. And we have The Flash and Nightwing together again. So Nightwing's doing his little patrols and stuff. It's all pretty cool and stuff. And then all of a sudden, Wally comes in and, helps him out a little bit. They chit-chat a little bit, chit-chat. And then they go to the bar. And they introduce themselves to these chicks. Like, hey, I'm Dick. Hey, I'm Wally. Oh, those names are totally 90s. I'm glad somebody pulled it out. I'm glad somebody broke that wall and said that those names were totally 90s because they are. Anyway, they go out and they get into some discussion and whatnot. And then they go patrolling, trying to hunt down somebody. I can't remember what it was. It was like a time person, some guy with this device or whatnot. And the guy with the device kind of gets to drop on Dick a little bit and hurts him a little bit. And then he nullifies Wally's abilities and puts him in moral peril. And they end up getting the bad guy. And then we have a tease of another villain, which I'm not familiar with this villain here at the end. But, I mean, it was a good bromance issue. That's probably the best way to put it. I enjoyed it. I like the art style. It was a great Dick book. Because, I mean, I'm surprised you didn't enjoy your weekly, Dick.
I'll read it, but I just work. I haven't been able to, time and stuff. So
Strong By, it's a contender for me because I like the pairing of Wally and Dick. I mean, it's just a great pair. You have the serious yet comical Dick, and you have the comical and not so serious Wally. So
okay, cool.
I enjoyed it. All right, next up, we have
X-Men Gold #4.
Written by
Mark Guggenheim, penciler, different artist R.B. Silva, inker Adriano Di Benedetto, colorist Frank Martin. So completely different. I think it's completely different.
We'll have to check the credits and whatnot.
Team, but I know main artist different. Okay, so
we start with Remy
LeBeau.
And he's stealing something.
Yeah, he's stealing something. He steals some little vial. Then the X-Men, they take down the Serpent Society,
which are like D-listers, I guess.
Putting it nicely. And then they also investigate this Wendigo creature, and they're like, oh, yeah, it's a mutant. And they're like, what? And stuff. And then it turns out the lady that wanted the vial is related to Bolivar Trask. And
Which is the inventor of the Sentinels.
Yes, and he's like, okay, I'm onto this. I'm keeping this. And Remy's always messing up.
Oh, yeah. So he breaks the
vial. Breaks, and
it goes into the computer system.
Nanites go into the computer system and take over and create an all-new...
all different...
Sentinel, like a mutated...
killing machine.
So, we don't know yet. Well, that's what they're made for. Yeah,
it's like, it's like MODOK, but, instead of MODOK, it's a Sentinel.
And then... there's also they're investigating this other creature that kind of looks like Etrigan.
I guess.
I don't know, some gargoyle type creature.
This Sentinel thing looks badass,
dude. Man. This whole thing was so spot on. This is exactly what this book needed. Yes, this is the X-Men I wanted. I wish there was a way that we could turn back time and redo the first 3 issues with a different artist, because I felt like it was the right way to go, but it just wasn't the right artist.
When we found out why the artist was changed, because of the first issue, of course, and we
and I'm glad. And it has nothing to do with politics or whatever.
I just didn't like that art style.
I'm glad that he's gone and that he messed up, because we probably wouldn't have gotten a change, and then I wouldn't be reading this book at all.
Yeah, and now now I'm hooked, at least. I don't know about you, but
yeah, I'm hooked for sure. I mean, especially when you got Remy LeBeau.
So Strong By, this is a contender. I greatly enjoyed this. Again, like we've both been saying, the art is amazing in this book. We got the return of Remy. We got some good subplot lines for the rest of the team. And Remy's got his own plot line, which is, it's very good.
Yeah, I heard the voices. Like, that's one thing is, like, when I read the other ones, I couldn't hear them clearly, This one, when I saw them and I read it, I was like, yep, this is them. This is spot on, these characters. So, the one complaint, though, I have, though, is Remy's dump hat. Like,
Yeah,
he has the hipster dump hat,
Yeah,
you know?
I didn't quite get that either. I was like, what?
He likes to keep up with the fashions. You know how he is.
Mm.
But anyways, yeah, it's a strong buy and a contender for sure. And
Straight
now
up.
at this point, hopefully they continue with this artist. I would say it's an ad.
Yeah, I would totally add it to this.
So, yeah.
Digital Code. Check it out for yourself. Let us know what you think. F for Phantasma. Z for Zordon. M for Marin. X for X-Men. 8-7. S for Sentinel. I for Indigo. W for Wolverine. D for Donatello. S for Sentinel, and 5. Totally got to get this stuff that my wife made so we can
For sure.
stop guessing it.
She's like, why? I did it in vain.
I know. I got to print it out.
So on to Flash number 22, which
Double
is behind
Deuce.
all the other ones because of the button.
Yep.
But this is the button.
This is part 4 of the
Part
button.
4.
Joshua Williamson did the script. Howard Porter did the art. Hi-Fi did the colors, and Steve Wands did the letters. And basically where we left off is they found the Reverse Flash in the time stream, and Batman and Flash are traveling towards him trying to say, hey, stop. You're about to die. We just saw that. You know, and he's like, oh, screw this. You know, you told me I died in Flashpoint. Yeah, I got, stabbed through the back by, Thomas Wayne. I've been, had my head ripped off and neck broken by the Flash. I'm still here. I'm a paradox. You can't kill me. There's no way you can kill me. So he goes into his final destination, and then he's like, all right, I'm going to take the power that you got, and I'm going to make Barry my little bitch. And I'm going to raise him to be my heir, and we're going to just cause all kinds of havoc and stuff. And he goes, oh, God, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I didn't know. And then, poof, we see how he ends up at the beginning of the button where he's like half rotting corpse and whatnot. While this is all going on, I have to continue this, man. While this is all going on, Batman and Flash are getting caught in the time stream and get pulled towards a time storm. And we have a character pop out of nowhere. Jay Garrick comes out of nowhere and says, Wally, you know me just the same way you know, not Wally, Barry, you know me the same way you know Wally. And he pushes Batman and Flash out of the Speed Force and disappears back into it. And that's where we end. Literally.
My mind powers are telling me that you think this is a strong buy and a contender.
Bravo.
Yeah, I just skimmed through it and I'm like, whoa, what? Like, there's so many mind-blowing moments. There's like so many great moments.
I'm glad they
You're
waited
like,
on
oh my
this.
God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, it's just, they take it higher and higher each time. Like, it's almost like every few pages. I love, too, that what's-his-name died twice within this event already.
Yeah.
Or within this arc.
Within a 4-issue arc, Eobard Thawne has died twice. Well, at the same time twice.
So you said it.
I mean, this is strong
Right.
by. This is a contender. This is amazing. If you haven't read the button, go back to Flash 21. Or no, it was a Batman book that started it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Batman 21, Flash 22, Batman and Flash 21, Batman and Flash 22 is what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Read that full arc, enjoy it. And now it's time for our commercial break.
Yes, it is. It's time to talk about Twin Suns Comics and Games, where they do tabletop gaming. They have Friday Night Magic. They have Yu-Gi-Oh, Hero Clicks, Pokemon.
Magic.
I already said that.
Warhammer, probably.
Warhammer 40K. Yeah. All kinds of stuff. You know, they also have like some awesome statues that I'm going to have to start collecting here in a little bit. As well as like they have an awesome, so that Power Rangers helmet only $100. I thought it was $300. It's only $100 and you
That's
can
not bad.
legit wear it. Yeah, it's
That's
but
not
it's
bad at
only
all.
the red Power Ranger.
Dude, you would get the green one though,
Yes.
or the white one,
The white, yes.
or even the Dakin, whatever,
Or,
Draco or whatever.
Dracon.
Dracon, this is it.
That would be insane. But yeah, and of course, like they have all kinds of graphic novels.
trades, manga.
Yeah, and you order stuff, they'll get it for you like 2 weeks,
The twins are great, man.
Yeah, the twins are awesome. They're
They know
awesome
their
to talk
stuff.
to. They really do know their stuff. Like, that's the thing is, there's not many places you can go to where
They don't only sell the stuff, they know the stuff they sell.
but it's not just like one thing. You know what I mean? Like, usually you have like one person, that's what they know, and that's it. Like, these guys know their magic. They know their hero clicks.
They know their Star
comics.
Wars.
They know their Star. And they keep up on all the current stuff. So I always talk with them about all the current movies and stuff like that, and shows and everything. So it's really cool. They're really cool dudes to talk to and everything like that. So, and they're always at the cons and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and
in fact, I got a shirt. I got a Captain America shirt from them at the con. It was only like $10. It was a little tank top. I thought it was a girl shirt because it seems like they only make tank tops for chicks now.
yeah.
But whatever.
We need to get Mason to work on our commercial that we did with them.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
That would be
I
great.
need to send it to him. It's on my external hard drive, so as soon as I hook it up, I'm gonna send it his way so he can work on those for him.
I mean, we did a couple of takes of it, and it was so fun.
Yeah, it was.
It was
ridiculous.
It was like a Ghostbusters style commercial, like from the original '84 Ghostbusters. You just gonna have to see it. We had so much fun filming it. I'm sure they did too. They're probably anticipating it because that was way back in Albuquerque Comic Con.
Yeah, that was in January.
Jeez,
so we're
behind.
We're already almost 6 months
yeah.
in. So, anyways, so yeah, make sure you go check them out. They're located near Coors and Montano, as well as
the same.
I want to say La Orilla.
Yeah, I think that's it. Right there by the Wex and stuff.
Yeah, which it's great because like
you can eat and then go.
When I go, yeah, you could do that too. When I go in the morning, I try to get there as soon as they open for comics.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually more parking when Wex is open, surprisingly, than in the evening, because in the evening that place is booming for tabletop gaming and for card gaming and stuff. And so like it's actually more packed for that. So that's
Pokestop.
That's got to say it is. I keep on forgetting that, and I need to hit it up every time I go there because I am always running short on balls.
You have lack of balls?
Yeah, I'm always, I'm always blowing my wad on, these weak.
Speaking of Pokemon Go, there's supposedly a rock event going on.
Yeah, which is funny because
there's no rock Pokemon out there.
Really, because I get Geodudes all the time in my neighborhood because I live like out in the Mesa.
Yeah.
And so to me that's not a big deal. But I did catch a Kabuto like instantly after that event started. So that's cool.
I caught an Onyx.
I already had one. But that's cool. That's still cool though.
I got enough to get a Steelix though.
I don't know if I have both. I don't think so. But anyways, yeah, it's pretty cool. I still like it because I use it for running and stuff, for working out mostly. I have another app running while I run, but like I have both, just especially for that 10-kilometer. I'm trying to get that 10-kilometer egg, two of them to hatch. I just hope it doesn't turn out to be crappy because it's taking forever.
Yeah, it's gonna be crap. It's gonna be a Pikachu.
Oh, that's fine with me. I have one, but I don't mind more. But yeah, and I caught a Mareep. I caught a Mareep the other day.
Oh, the electric sheep.
Yeah.
Do androids dream electric sheep?
Hmm?
Do androids dream electric sheep?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to find out.
No, yeah, that makes sense. Thanks for clearing that up for us.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. Yeah. So like them on Facebook and stuff because they keep up with all their stuff.
Yeah, because they post events every week. I mean,
yeah, they do.
They're always like, "Oh, finding that magic, poof, here you go."
Yeah. So so there you go.
All right, back to the comics. Next up, you got Invincible Iron Man, or the Invincible Iron Heart is what it should be.
Yeah, it should be. It still has Iron Man in it. It's number 7. Brian Michael Bendis is the writer. Stefano Caselli is the artist. Marta Gracia is color artist. And so this one, a lot of these issues are kind of starting to seem the same, just because it's just her everyday regular thing, like her schedule, what her mom does for her and stuff. And then it's you have S.H.I.E.L.D. and they're doing all this information on her, but it's based off of like her vlog that she has going on. and then she goes against this guy Will-O the Wisp. And
That's a Spider-Man villain.
And he messes her up, and then but the suit takes her to safety, and she's like, wow, I got messed up by this nobody and stuff. Like, I really need to step my game up. And then this one dude comes forward that he helped some evil lady take over Latveria. And but yeah, so, and that's, he tells Agent Carter.
Yeah.
So yeah,
This was a triumph.
I like this book, but it's so slow. And like I've said before, I'm not absolutely in love with
The Riri character?
Riri. Like, I like her, but I'm not in love with her, and I'm waiting for like that moment to be like
Where she proves herself.
where I really fall in love with her, because I don't feel, you know,
She's not a compelling character currently.
she's okay. But yeah. So at this point, I think I'm gonna switch to trade because it's so slow. It's
Okay.
just it's not bad. But it's just like it's very slow. So I'm gonna switch to trade for it.
Okay.
Maybe after the next issue. I don't know how many I've ordered out, you know, because it is a solid series. So
What'd you give the ranking of the book?
the book, I give it it's a strong buy, but like I said, it can't be a contender. There's no way. Here's a digital code. You want to check it out for yourself. F for Famicom, Z for Zarbon, M for Mankey, S for Saiyan, 8-3, T for Tank, K for Kill, 3, K for Kill, Y for Yank, P for Pietro.
Next up, I got, or maybe we got, Batman number 23. Basically, it's written by Tom King. Mitch Gerage did the pencils, inks, colors, titles, and cover. And Clayton Cowles did the letters. And this is the Brave and the Mold, which it's Swamp Thing and Batman. And just, this is just amazing. It's got this noir look to it because it's Swamp Thing and Batman.
He's technically not Mold unless they're going up against Mold, which is another avatar, actually.
Yeah. And then, you know, they're investigating a death, whatnot. They go into, you know, the Wayne Manor and they sit down and have a talk, whatnot. And it's just really interesting, the conversation between Bruce and Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
And Alfred keeps cleaning up after Swamp Thing because he's like leaving this dirt trail. It's pretty funny. And then they catch this thief or whatnot together. And then it's like, why do you need a car? And he's, well, why do you need a body?
This was a
Hey,
triumph.
that was a pretty good exchange right there. And in the end, Swamp Thing kind of kills somebody. And that's kind of how it ends, really. It's, how do I put this? The interaction in the lead up to the finale of this book is amazing. But the last page where Swamp Thing kills him, it's like, why? And it really pisses off Bruce. And he's like yelling at Swamp Thing. And I mean, you can tell it. It's like Bruce is like so betrayed. And this is a good book. This is one of those that you really need to read just to see the interaction between Swamp Thing and Batman. I mean, to see how different they are, how they work together, how the chemistry is together. Because certain points, just like it makes you laugh. Certain points, you're like, oh man, I feel bad for Swamp Thing. And then at the end of this, is like you do side with Bruce, and it's like, I do understand. He didn't have to kill this guy. I mean, this is a strong buy. This is a contender. This is a great book. Read it.
I mean, really, he just takes him where he's going to be, into Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
But still,
we all become
that's not the way the bat
part
works,
of the
though.
Earth. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, the art looks amazing.
Oh yeah, this is again.
So-
It's got different styles of art, even though it's the same artist the entire time.
What do you say?
It's a
Strong
buy
buy contender.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Next up, we have Star Wars number 20?
31.
31.
It's part 2 of 5 of the Screaming Citadel. I thought that was going to be its own thing.
I thought it was too. Now it's going to be a mix-up. I think it's in Dr. Aphra next week. So we'll find out when next week comes around.
Jason Aaron is the writer. Salvador La Roca is the artist. Edgar Delgado is colorist.
So they're Han Cena, which is his Cena Saros or whatever his wife's name is.
Sana,
and Leia are all in the Falcon. And they're like,
they catch on to Dr. Aphra's plan. They're like, oh yeah, this queen, she does this thing, so we need to go save Luke. So they go there, and for whatever reason, they're like, hey, Chewie, you can't
stay behind.
And apparently this lady has something against
Wookiees.
And so yeah, she's, you know, man, Aphra's just, she's so bad.
Yeah.
And
but Chewbacca gets into some sort of I don't know if this is a prison or whatnot. It looks like it.
That's not Chewbacca. I think that was Kurt Santan.
Oh, it may be Kurt Santan. I mean, yeah, it is, because he's got the little things in his dreadlocks, whatnot.
But yeah, so her little plan turns on her because this queen is more evil than she is.
Mm-hmm.
So the plan was to take her out, and so they're on the run, and of course they're still after them, and then you know, they arrive to go. You know, the rebels arrive to help
Luke and Aphra.
Yeah, so we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, again, part 3 is, I think, is in Dr. Aphra number. Was it? Oh, where is it at? Because Dr. Aphra is the next issue. Is all it says.
It just blows my mind, like how well they get Luke or all these characters. Like, they look exactly like them from the movies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how they capture them. I'm like, oh my God, like how long does it take you to do this? Because this is so spot on. It's just insane how accurate they look to the actors, you know?
This is a strong buy for me. It's not a contender this week because I just didn't like certain aspects of the story. It felt a little forced. However, that may change in the next part of the series of the Screaming Citadel series. So again, it's a strong buy, just not a contender for me.
I agree with that. My reason it's a strong buy is mostly because of the art, because there's some, you know, it was okay.
Yeah, the story's kind of almost there. So here's a digital code for you. Check it out for yourself. T for Thomas, Q for Quinn, J for Jocko, I for Ignacio, Q for Quinn, M for Matilda, O for Oscar, F for Familia, R for Romeo, H for Hector, Z for Zarbon, and N for November. Next up, we got Green Lanterns number 23. And this is written by Sam Humphries. Eduardo Pansica. Yeah, Pansica is the pencils. Julio Ferreira is the inks, and Blonde did the colors. And again, we have the training day. And of course, Jessica Cruz is, you know, getting crap from Guy because Guy's all macho and stuff. And so he's putting her through the ropes and wearing her out. And of course, we have Simon Baz and Kyle Rayner going through each other. He's like, okay, well, you got to punch me one time. And Kyle's like, nope, here's a maze. You got to go through that now. And he just keeps throwing these obstacles in there. And then we have the fake Guardian kind of doing some research there. Finds out that he needs to find the original 7 rings to get a travel lantern. I don't know. No clue about that yet. So, and we get a little bit of backstory, history, whatnot on that whole situation. And then Kilowog and Jessica kind of go out and have a little heart-to-heart. And he kind of shows her abilities, whatnot. And she's so surprised by it. I like how Kyle puts Simon in this big old pinball machine. It makes me think of the old Sesame Street 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The number 12 thing. And Simon does get the jump on Kyle. And even Jessica kind of retaliates on Guy. I mean, it ends so well. This is a great book. This is a strong buy. This is a contender. I love this. This is great storytelling and interaction between the core members that have never met before.
That we've been missing. Yeah, this is essential, I feel, to Green Lantern stuff. So I can't wait to read this because this looks superb.
Because Guy steals this book, man. Guy steals the book. All I gotta say.
As usual.
Alrighty.
So strong by contender.
Yes. Next up, we have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers numero 15, written by Kyle Higgins. Daniel Bayless is the illustrator, and Ed Dukeshire is the letterer. And of course, we have the ongoing adventures of Squat Mebu at the end of this thing. So, where do we begin?
So
here?
this is
the Chronicle of Zordon, is what it seems like.
Yeah, he's like lost in the
Morphin grid.
Yes. Yeah. Perfect. And so he also sees himself from the other timeline too. And it's great how he's like, I had faith in Tommy. He's like, don't lose that faith. Like, keep the faith, and
I don't regret it.
And don't regret it. And he's like, but you were dead because of him. And he's like, it doesn't matter.
I still don't regret it.
Yeah. And you see like the fall of him. You don't really know why still. And it would be cool to get Lord Dracon's point of view for his own thing,
here.
like why Tommy went bad. Like, because they even said like he destroyed the sword, so they broke that. He had been good for a while, but then he ended up to go with Rita anyways. And so but this one they're going like, and you see the plan, like how what is the name of the sword? Saba. How it goes into hiding, and they're like, all right, we're just going to plan for the future because time is going to come. And then that's pretty much how it ends. So I don't know if we're going to get back to the previous story. Like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing the point of view of Lord Dracon. No, I mean, I know that, but I mean, from a different point of view, because this one,
it's all Zordon.
This one is all Zordon, and it's exposition stuff to this story that we like filling in the gaps. And that was really cool to get. At first, I was like, man, come on. I just want to get to the thing. But it was so good that I was like,
so much to it.
And it's so good. And even though, too, that it's like, oh, I don't regret anything, and you should still keep the faith and everything like that. Have faith in this Tommy, at least.
Yeah.
And everything. And then even the ongoing adventures were
amusing.
Were amusing. So they add very much needed comedy
to this dark, dark story.
Yes, and it has been for a while.
Strong buy for you?
You know it.
Strong buy for me. Contender for me.
Absolutely.
This is a great book. It's solid each time that it comes through. I really enjoy it. I think it's one of those things that I wish I picked up earlier. So, all right. Next up, we got Aquaman, Hombre de Aqua numero 23. Crown of Atlantis, written by Dan Abnett. Scott Eaton did the pencils. Wayne Fouchard is the inks, and Gabe Al-Taib is the colors. Man, I'm getting so awesome at saying his name, Al-Taib. So awesome.
Unless we're just saying it wrong this whole time.
Yeah, unless we're saying it wrong. So, Mr. Al-Taib, give us a holler. Let us know we're saying this right. Basically, we get Aquaman and Mare going back to Atlantis, and they get confronted by, I guess, a bunch of his citizens and stuff, and they're like, you're not a king. Your butt has not been here. You're neglecting us. You need to be a king and be here. You don't need to be absent. You can't be out gallivanting with the Justice League and doing your own adventures. We need you to rule here.
You're unworthy.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of how it is. There's a battle that goes on, and then they kind of quell it and whatnot.
As how it goes usually.
And then they have a council and whatnot where they discuss exactly what I just did. I mean, it's really all politics in this book. There's no action except for the fight between, the Atlanteans and whatnot over the disagreement of how the king should be acting and whatnot. And, at the end, they say that it's time for Arthur to prove that he's king and whatnot. And I guess that's what he's going to be doing next issue, is proving he's king. This is not my style of story. However, the art is amazing. The exchanges are great. The story is written well. It is a strong buy. It is just not a contender.
For him. I like this type of stuff, so maybe I will, and I'll, probably I'll do written reviews probably, or I don't know. There's a lot of books that I haven't covered, so I don't know. I did do the audio. I don't know if you knew, but I did part 2 of the books that you didn't cover last week. So I might there's not... But I think we got almost all the books covered. Oh, no, actually, there's a few. We have Green Arrow, Trinity. Yeah, Green Arrow and Trinity. So it would be slightly redundant if I did that. Anyways.
All right, next up, you have Archie.
Number 20, Over the Edge, Part 1. It is still Mark Waid writing, I do believe. Yes, it is. Art by Pete Woods. Lettering by Jack Morelli. So this is just talking about how Reggie Mantle is just the biggest a-hole and how he really grinds Archie's gears. And then, oh, dude, they have this freaking sweet sting that that they've been working on. Yeah, 1969 Mach 1 Cobra Jet that Archie and Betty have been working on for a long time. They're fixing it up, and then Reggie's like, "Oh, hey, let's play for pinks," and you know his ego gets the best of him, and so he does it. And then Betty's like, "Hell no, he's not going without me," and so it turns bad into like a horrible wreck. And then they have a preview for this band thing. So, as well as the kids of the who is it? The twins. They're also like investigating like their dad is not their real dad and stuff.
Wow.
And so they're looking into that. But so yeah, that was it. This one, it was not that great to me. Like I don't know. This one felt like the more like cheesy, you know, stuff. I don't know. This one was very okay to me.
This was a triumph.
Like it looks good, and it wasn't bad. It was just like it was all right, you know. It was atchy, I guess, you know. So that being said, I give it. I'm gonna give it a week by.
Wow, it's the first time I ever get that book a week by.
Yeah.
All right, next up I have Mighty Thor, number 19, written by Jason Aaron. Russell Dalderman and Matthew Wilson did the art in certain pages. Valerio Shinchi and Matt Lopez did other art and colors. And then Joe Sabino did the letters and production. And basically it's them. It's the Mighty Thor coming face to face with the Phoenix, and the Phoenix kind of goes into a host body, and then it goes into and talks to Jane Foster herself, the cancer-ridden Jane Foster, and she's the Phoenix Force is wanting her to drop the hammer, kind of, you know, it's almost like the Phoenix Force is afraid of the hammer, and is trying to goad her into just releasing and dying and whatnot. It's really weird, and it's a good exchange between the two. And Jane pulls the hammer out and just beats the Phoenix Force itself. And I'll talk about that in just a second. And then we have the unworthy Thor coming into effect with the mighty Mjolnir from the Ultimate World. At least it looks like Mjolnir. No, it's not. It's the axe.
John Bourne.
Yeah, John Bourne. And it's Odin's son. And he tells Jane what the Phoenix Force is actually afraid of. And so, yeah, the Phoenix Force kind of goes array and starts heading back towards Earth because it's looking for a host that we saw a couple weeks back in the form of Jean Grey.
Which is weird because I thought Thane had it.
So we'll find out how that works.
I thought Thane had the Phoenix Force.
I don't know. It's really weird. We do get a couple of cameos from Malekith, and of course Odin's son's there. So yeah, we'll see how that works. Then we have this big old freaking monster whatnot coming at the end of the book, and it's touting the return of the the all new Ultimate Thor is what they're touting in the next issue. So we'll see.
Okay.
It's a buy. It's not a strong buy. The art's great. The storytelling is okay, but I wanted it to be more about the Phoenix because it's what this whole series was about. It was about the Phoenix. The exchange between the Phoenix and Jane was amazing. I loved it. And then how Odin's son pops up and you know helps out in that whole situation, sheds some light. That was a great exchange.
It's called the Mighty Thor, though.
Yeah, but it's the Mighty Thor. So I mean, we'll see.
I switched to trade on that. so I need to get caught up and stuff. So what do you give it?
I give
Just
it a buy.
Okay, cool.
And last but not least, we have a Superman.
Number 23.
And it is written by Peter J. Tomasi and Patrick Gleason. Doug Mankey is the pencilist. Jaime Mendoza, Mankey, and Keith Champagne are the inkers. And and Will Quintana did the colors. And we have Soups and the Neighbor getting into it. And that's kind of how it is. Soups and the Neighbor getting into it. Jonathan's been kidnapped, and they got black mirrors all over the room where he's kidnapped. So when he shoots his eye beams, they kind of reflect everywhere. Pretty weird. Soups takes Lois away and then goes back and starts fighting these monsters and crap. Lois gets pinned or whatnot or hurt. Cauterized the wound. Superman finishes off the monsters, and then Manchester Black is revealed to be the mastermind behind the kidnapping, I guess, or at least a part of it. Not really that good of an issue, in my opinion. Really dark, so I enjoyed the art style. I like the expressions of the characters in the nighttime, but this storyline has just kind of gone downhill for me. I don't really like it. This is actually a weak buy for me. So that's how I feel about that.
The art looks a little inconsistent and chaotic at times.
Yes.
Oh, Manchester Black is that evil British dude from the Elites from that animated movie.
Oh.
Okay, now I know, right? I'm going to have to read this one. That movie was pretty solid, the DC animated one.
Yeah,
I never read the comic, but the movie was really solid. So what did you give it?
I give it a weak buy.
A weak buy.
I just didn't like the way the storytelling was. It was too chaotic.
Okay, cool. Yeah, looks like it. I mean, so we'll see. Back in B-Bow time. Back in bag of the time. Runner-up announcements.
My runner-up would be Mighty Morphin Power Rangers because I like the way the story was told. I like the prospect of Zordon's point of view. It was just really well done. It's a really good book. This entire series is something that any Power Ranger fan should be reading. It's fantastic, and of course the cover here that you got with Draken's action figure, so awesome.
I didn't even know what it was because of that cover. I was like, what number is it? I don't know.
It's on the back.
Yeah.
So that's my runner-up. What's your runner-up, bud?
My runner-up, well, I haven't read all the books, but since you're putting me on the spot, I'm going to go ahead and announce. I'm going to go with Luke Cage, number 1, as my runner-up.
So currently, your runner-up is Luke Cage, number 1. My B-Bow is no surprise whatsoever. The Flash, number 22, is my B-Bow. That was an amazing book. Great conclusion to the Button, which I've been anticipating since basically I started the cast with you, because that's when the New 52 started. I mean the Rebirth started. It's when I started the cast here for you, and it's amazing. It's what I've been waiting for. Now I have to wait about another 5 months till November for the Doomsday Clock, which is the next part of the story.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's kind of BS.
I can wait as long as they string it out and very well place Ozymandias and Dr. Manhattan in the timeline.
I still think they need to be doing the Rebirth, just a lone Rebirth title instead of doing this stuff, because now this title is behind.
Yep. They should have been doing just a DC Universe Rebirth and then throw everything that has...
Even if they did it like every other month.
Yeah.
Or just one month and it was just breadcrumbs, that would be fine with me. Right now, as it stands, like I said, I haven't read anything, but I would say that my back and bag of the week is X-Men Gold, just because, Remy, it finally hit its stride. I love X-Men to death, and I love the team. I love, Nightcrawler. Everyone in this is just Colossus, Storm, like everybody, like
just Remy, man.
Remy's great, but everyone's so spot on, and I love Nightcrawler as my favorite X-Men, and I love I just love the variety of like ethnicities and their different countries like Colossus, Russia, Nightcrawler, Germany, Storm, Africa. We need a little Latino blood in there.
Wolverine Canadian.
Yeah, Wolverine Canadian. Remy LeBeau is
Cajun.
Cajun. That's still U.S., but still it's very
French.
You got the South. You got that South covered.
Yeah.
So yeah, Prestige. I don't know what she is. But anyways, so yeah, like I said, it might change depending on me reading the other books because boy, did Green Lanterns look like a blast.
Yes, it's really fun.
So and then
Flash, it was a tough week,
know.
man. I had to get the Back in Black to Flash for me, but I mean, again, Gen X was great. Again, like you said, X-Men Gold was fantastic. The Green Lanterns was amazing. I enjoyed it. I mean, you didn't even read Trinity or Green Arrow, so I mean, I didn't even read them, so I don't know what they're like. So, I mean,
and I actually picked up an extra copy of
Teen Titans, which again, that was pretty good.
Which has
but
a digital code.
It's
I think it'll be as a whole.
I think the Lazarus contract as a trade would be better. Yeah,
probably. So, all right. Well, that's it for us for now. Like I said, I'll probably do some written reviews, unless I'm compelled to do an audio. Like I said, last week, this kind of happened because similar situation. I wasn't able to read at work, and this time I was only able to read like about half the books, So, but last week I did end up doing an audio of the books that were not covered. So yeah, and and everything like that. So listen to that, that part 2 of
the
285.
Podcast. Yep. Tell us what you think of the new setup, the audio and the video, because we need some feedback on it.
Yeah. And if someone has a recliner, not like too messed up, but just
care.
another. Well, yeah, I don't want like an old ratty trashed recliner in my nerd cave, like that's out behind a dumpster and it's nasty. Like I want you, sitting comfortable and stuff.
I got carpet cleaner. I'm cool with it.
All right. If he's fine with it, you heard him.
Yeah.
So
see if you got a recliner or a decent chair,
and then we'll have 2 recliners in the nerd cave, and we'll do the Comicast in there.
Yeah.
And it's a lot cooler because, of course, there's a lot of it's the nerd cave.
And we can not wake up your wife.
Yeah, that too. I mean, she's off to work already, but yeah,
still.
Sometimes. So yeah, that's it for us. Make sure you check out our new content. We have a new video up by Mason usually already. Another one coming out next week. He's gonna be posting them every Friday for Duke City Comic Con.
Nice.
I'm gonna try to post Albuquerque Comic Con videos on Monday, and then SabakuCon videos on Wednesday. I was behind a couple weeks, so I posted actually like 3 on Friday. So I think I'm all caught up now. The thing is it's kind of confusing because I make 2 versions of I almost make 2 versions of every video because I'll do like one that's for my personal Facebook where I throw in all kinds of stuff that's copyrighted because I don't care on my personal Facebook. And then I strip, or I have like the more stripped down raw version that doesn't have copyrighted stuff on our version on the TNTM stuff. Because I don't want to get, hit with a copyright strike or whatever the heck. So,
and you can check us out at TNTM pretty much everywhere. I mean,
that's our website.
Yeah.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr. What else? I don't know. So YouTube. Yeah, of course. So yeah, it's gonna get better, and I'm almost out of Albuquerque Comic Con content, so there will not be like something posting soon.
Yeah.
I'm trying to come up with more stuff as like I'm dwindling down, but pretty much I just have the 2 videos for
as Age and
Twins, which I'm going to throw over to Mason because I know he can make it way better than me.
Yeah, because it's
advertising. I want it to be like a crazy car commercial, and then I think the only thing I have left is I'm going to make shenanigans stuff out of Joker's interactions, and then I think that's it on my end.
We have a few outtakes.
Comic-Con. Oh, outtakes! I need to do outtakes. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to watch everything from beginning to end to find the outtakes and then pull those out.
We did a lot of double takes and stuff because it's like, okay, well that cut's good. Let's do some more. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Okay, that cut's good. do it again. Just have fun with it. Okay. And then, especially the Applejack, man.
Yeah, that's something I need to find that and throw that up. I was looking for it.
The Applejack stuff is hilarious.
I thought about throwing it into the goofing off video, like all the outtakes, but I'm like, outtakes can be a separate video if there's enough, hopefully. Even if there's not that much, whatever.
It can be like a B-side.
Yeah, for sure. So, that's it for us. Talk nerdy to me. We'll talk nerdy to you. And
keep your eyes hungry for
comics.